All right, all right. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? It's Jerome and Rome. I want to send a special shout out to my boys over at This Is Recorded. You know what I'm saying? I heard they got that thing going on. Oh man, my tooth done fell out. Hold on. I got a hickey tooth. The wrong in the house. I said, watch your mouth. Won't look out for me. Just go ahead and drink some OE and listen to This Is Recorded. Oh no. Oh no. A tooth fell out. Hold on. I got y'all. Hey, don't trip. Have a sip of this and look out. Madrid. Yeah, check the shoes out. Check the check the shoe. Oh, my tooth done fell out. But let me give y'all a full spectrum of the whole outfit and what I got going on. Shout out to Gina and Pam, old Marty Maud, making everything so hard on your mind. Let me get myself set up so you can see the weather. Yes, sir. Yeah. Make sure y'all check out the whole drip. The whole drip. The whole drip. The whole drip. Make sure y'all check out this edition of This Is Recorded. Where my tooth go? Where my tooth?
Yes, sir. Hope you got a chance to see Jerome. Shout out to everybody doing Halloween, celebrating. You know, for the people like me growing up. Excuse me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another edition of This Is Recorded podcast. I've been out the loop, let me tell y'all. We're going to get into it, but hope y'all got a chance to see Jerome. Shout out to all the people that didn't get to dress up like me growing up. Had a religious stepmom that really wasn't into the whole Halloween thing, so we had to stay in. And I didn't really care too much about the holiday. I just wanted to dress up and be like my friends. For anybody judging, yes, this is one of my favorite shirts, so you are seeing it again. I got this nice 1997 World Series champs hat in New Orleans, as y'all seen on the last podcast. But man, have fun, enjoy your life, do all the things that you wanted to do that you didn't get a chance to do when you were younger, because you just want to have fun. You just want to do what you want, and you don't want to hurt nobody. So dressing up, doing stuff like that, celebrating, that's a way of doing something you love without hurting nobody. Yeah, let's get into it. The 30-day challenge, unfortunately, has been a failure for me. But, you know, I think when you enter certain things and really want to do it and implement it in your life, what you have to do, you have to tweak, you have to change it. I think the reading, the 100 pages, given all that I try to do with family and the podcast and different things, 100 pages in a week got a little bit a lot for me. What else got a lot for me? It was really that, and what else did I have? The exercising, but let me tell you the story of this. Okay, so you see New Orleans on the last pod, and that is when everything kind of went off the rails a little bit. So I was a good 2.5 weeks in, but then we went on vacation, and then it was like, okay, of course I'm on vacation. I'm gonna eat, you know. So I don't know if I'll ever be back here, so I gotta eat and I gotta do different things, try it. And then we stayed at an Airbnb that was just a room, so it wasn't really a workout room, things like that. So that happened. So kind of messed that week up for me as far as working out, reading the pages. I'm on vacation, all that stuff. That messed me up. So then when I got back, I got sick. I feel like it was a flu because I had a headache off and on. I had a fever off and on. I felt like I didn't want to keep food down, even though I ate Burger King. Shouldn't have ate that. So that was probably my fault more than the sickness. But then I had a little cough and a sore throat. Then it was just a bunch of different things that were going all around. So that messed up my week. So here we are now today, Halloween, the 31st. So it was a good, week and a half of being thrown off from my schedule. I couldn't work out because I felt weak, different things. But all in all, with me falling off the wagon with that, it made me want to get back on even stronger. But it made me want to tweak it and adjust and try to figure out what I can do to get back right and get back on, because I think this is a great thing, and I do understand. Like, I keep seeing it over and over and over. Discipline is what's going to take you there. So I really want to achieve this. I really want to do this. I hope you do it. I hope you're 30. Hey, one moment for the lighting. God peeking out, showing out for me. But yeah, man. So hey, don't give up. Keep going. Recalibrate, tweak it, figure it out. I did watch some good movies like The Godfather 1 and 2, and I started watching Snitch. Got some, and I watched good documentary on the Mets of the '80s and everything. So, and really great podcast with Rick Rubin talking about creatives and people that want to be creative, things they should do, things they should work on. So, all in all, it was some losses, it was some setbacks, but the first will be tomorrow, so it'll give me a chance to bounce back. It'll give me a chance to be right. And sometimes you fall hard, but if you really want it, you want to get back on even harder. So for me, to you, let's get back on these 30-day grind, these 30-day lists, and let's grind harder. Let's do better, and let's make it happen. One person that I want to give an example to, I don't really talk about what's going on in the real world unless it really affects me or I really believe in it. Wallow. If you ever heard of a podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game, it's a guy, Wallow, and his cousin Gilly, that was a rapper, but Wallow was a guy who served 20 years in prison, got out, and knew he was going to make something of himself, and he knew like the content game was one of it. So he had a phone, and he lived in his grandmother's basement, and he had $1,000, and he had an old video, and he said, I'm going to turn this $1,000 into $100 million. And my God, did he? Because recently it's reported that they signed a contract for their podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game, a great podcast. And they signed a contract after doing 20 years in prison, after saying, I'm going to turn this $1,000 into $100 million. I think he really did it, man. Congratulations to him. Clap it up for him. He did it. Him and Gilly, it's just a blessing. It's amazing. And Wallow was 100% himself. Wallow gets emotional in front of people. He tries to speak to the youth that makes, like hardcore music and gangster rap music. Like, I don't want to see y'all dead. Y'all made it out. Let's stay out. Let's empower others. Let's help each other. Let's help everybody. He met Sampa and just said, man, your music did so much for me, man. It really saved my life. He broke down and cried, man. And just, he's a really vulnerable. And, he even talked about in the early days, he would come out and he put ketchup on his head and lay in the street and say, I don't want y'all to be like this. This will be y'all. Y'all be dead in the street. This is me. This is your mother crying. He makes all these motivational things. And that's what I want to do in this podcast lane. The content game is create positive things I like, things I'm into. And that's what he did. So it was just amazing to see, man. Clap it up for him and Gilly. You love to see stuff like that. Once again, that's $1 Million Worth of Game. It's Gilly the King, I think, on social media, and Wallow267. But $1 Million Worth of Game is their podcast if you want to listen. They also do a Black business spotlight. They talk about towards the middle or the end of like a big podcast. They'll talk with different people about vending machine businesses, how to get credit cards, how to do trucking, how the everyday person could try to get some things going on their own. So $1 Million Worth of Game. Wallow, greatness, man. Greatness. You gotta big up and really shout out those people that's doing great things in the world. That's what we do here at This Is Recorded Podcast. Another person that is just, I guess it's just Black excellence, because there's been a lot of talk about Black people versus Jewish people versus this versus that. And I just feel like these people I'm talking about do what I want to do. Like, you cannot talk about or complain about the situations, because of honesty in this country and around the world, a lot of people never gave a shit about Black people. We know and understand that, so I don't know why we keep trying to make it seem like there's something new or why is this happening. We know why, and it's going to keep happening. But these brothers that I'm talking about, they go out and do it. They figure it out. They don't make no excuses. They do it and they keep it going. like this good brother Deion Sanders was a great track star, football star, Hall of Famer, changed the game at cornerback, Dallas Cowboy for my Aunt Roz. And what he did was he had his son, he was playing football, he coached him at the high school level. When it was time for his son to go to college, he said, I want to take over a college school, but I'm sure he would have been welcomed at many colleges and top colleges, but he decided to go to a HBCU in Jackson, Mississippi. Nobody really talks about Mississippi. Nobody really goes to Mississippi like that. It ain't too many famous people out of Mississippi, but he decided to go there. He wanted to change the culture, he wanted to change the program, and he wanted to change the HBCU landscape. And the way to do that is to do it and go and do the work. Don't complain about it. Don't say people, oh, they're not helping me. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. You go out and do it yourself. And that's exactly what he did. And recently, this past weekend, ESPN College Game Day, ESPN, one of the biggest networks, spent their morning, their 4-hour broadcast at Jackson, Mississippi with Deion Sanders. He invited the other team's players and everybody to come out and celebrate and enjoy a big moment for HBCUs. Deion Sanders also has the top recruit at his school right now. He's just doing so many great things. And I love that he's doing it. He's not making no excuses. He's just going straight out and doing it. He is like a great example of like, don't talk about what you want done. Go out and do it yourself. It's going to be hard. It's going to be thankless. You're going to be underserved. But if you really want it, you can make it. And in due time, you'll start to see the changes. You'll start to see the growth. And I just want to also clap it up for the good brother Deion Sanders and what he's doing with his son. He's changing the culture. I mean, it was at the perfect time. It could have been set up like that. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. But he went, and now kids can get paid, so he can get them sponsorships. He got different sponsors. If you mess with me, you're going to help the school out, and you bring an awareness. You see more of these games televised. You see ESPN there. You see just greatness, and that's what I want for my people, beautiful black people. Let's go out and let's do the work ourselves. We're not going to wait on nobody. We're not going to tell a whole bunch of people our plans. We just going to go and do the work. And that's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to be quiet about your plans and you got to go out and do it. I feel like a person like the greatest celebrities and stuff like that. Like, I mean, since we on Black Excellence, rest in peace. And, Wakanda Forever is coming out soon. Chadwick Boseman did all these black roles because he wanted people to see in a movie form, because he probably knows a lot of black people watch movies. He loves movies. He was an actor. So he wanted to portray all these different stories of great blackness, so black people can be proud and be happy and be uplifted. And he did this all while being sick and being quiet about it. People that worked with him didn't even know. But he said he felt truly in his spirit the story was bigger than him. And it was thankless because, even it was very sad to see towards the end of his life, they like either making fun of him or like saying he must be going too far for a role because he looked real skinny, but he was sick, and he was sick for a lot of years. But he chose to do all these roles because he felt like it was important. He felt like it was important for his black people to see it, to embrace it, and to know it. And he did the greatest job. And his impact will be felt and is felt for years and years and years to come because of the great job he did while he was here. I always live by the Bob Marley quote of like, because of the impact, the music that I left in this world, I can never die. And also Bob Marley, he asked me, Rich, what is rich? I'm not rich in money and possessions, but I am a rich man because I'm loved and people love me and people enjoy the things that I do. So it's just like, with all these people I'm saying today, I was just overwhelmed. And I guess I just felt like, because I felt beat down, I felt like, dang, giving up, and it was really hard, and I got sick, and I don't remember the last time I had like a regular cold. Like, it'd been years. So it's just like, I looked at all these people that inspire and motivate me, Wallow and Deion Sanders and the Chadwick Boseman. These people, did it, and they did it, and a lot of them do it, and it's thankless. Because I feel like in life you can help out a lot of people, but they don't understand. They're not willing to understand it. They don't like grasp it. Maybe until it's too late or not at all. And also a recurring thing in my mind this week has been that, you know, we don't understand why people want to be unhappy, but you do understand it. It's because they have low self-esteem. They don't believe in themselves. They think like this is all only thing that's gonna happen for me. It's just like everything that doesn't make sense makes sense. Why do people not? I don't know. If I handed it to you, why you don't do it? Because they're lazy. Because they don't want it as hard as you. Because they think they can find another way. These are things that happen. These are things that occur. But in that, I feel like too with these people, if you love them, if you truly love them, because love is not conditional. If you truly love them, you're going to work with them, you're going to grow with them, you're going to teach them, and you're going to be right there, you're going to hold their hand, and maybe, and hopefully, before they take their last breath or you take yours, you will see the change. You will see a great change in them. You will enjoy them, you will love them, and you will just have a good time and just love life, love this life, and just love everything about it and love the process of it, man. And love music. It's been some really good music coming out, man. Babyface got a great album out. Another legend, man. Yeah, I guess this is our Black Heroes. It's the Halloween edition, but it's the Black Heroes, man, because these are everyday heroes, not just on Halloween. They don't wear costumes. These are real people, man. Babyface is a great person that is just a great songwriter, and he always knew when to step in and step out. He made the song "End of the Road" for oh my gosh, Boys to Men. And they asked him, do you think it would be a bigger song if you had it, or do you regret giving that song? He said no, because it wouldn't have been as big of a song if I would have did it. You know, Babyface is a person, he knows when to get in and when to get out. And when making this new album, he worked with new artists and he sits them down and he tells them, he said, hey, you know, what's going on in your life? Let's talk about it. And he follows their lead and they help him out. And I mean, he was big in the 80s and 90s, so he's trying to learn now. And he takes it, and that's what a good leader knows, how to take, direction, and knows when to give up power for the greater good. And that's what he did. The name of the album is Ladies Night Out. It's great. It's out right now. I like West Side Gun. What else I like? Jeezy album is out right now. It's just a lot of good stuff. I mean, Rihanna song. I know I'm gonna cry when I watch Wakanda with it forever. It's gonna be sad. I'm gonna be in the theater crying. But it's just a lot of great blackness out right now. And then it's a lot of conversations about different people in the media, you know, who. And it's just that we have to do the work. We have to empower ourselves. And sometimes you got to be quiet about what you're doing. You got to do it in silence. You got to do it, and when nobody really knows. You got to be mysterious, but you got to know you doing it, and the people you doing it for know you doing it. You don't have to yell it at the mountaintop what you doing, because when you're really doing something because you want to be just like happy about it, and you really don't want, everybody to know like that, you doing it for the love is what I'm trying to say. You just go out and do it. It doesn't have to be all of that. So I want all of us to go out in the world, do great things, and really live your life, man. Be creative. Start doing everything you wanted to do. I've always wanted to do dress up, stuff like that. Finally did it. I've always wanted to do a bunch of stuff. These past couple months been dedicated to it. I feel so good. I'm sorry the podcast is late. I feel so good to be able to do it. I really love this podcast thing, but you really got to get over your mind and tricking your mind. You got to get out of that, because your mind sometimes is your worst enemy. A lot of the times, because it knows you better than anybody knows you. Just like they say, you can't love somebody till you love yourself. I mean, these things are true, because your mind's a very powerful place. So everybody just get back on track, get your mind right. Sorry, the podcast is late. I have to do better. This feels amazing. The lighting is good. I switched the position on it, turned the camera around a little bit, and I'm just having a good time. Hopefully you have a good night. Maybe I'll have some Halloween footage for y'all and stuff. It'll be late. Also, I got some clips. I got different playlists I'm trying to get together because I understand people like shorter stuff. So I'm working on that. And I want everybody to just have a good week. Tomorrow's the 1st, so let's recalibrate those lists. Let's do those lists over. Let's figure it out. I speak that into existence. Going into December, we'll really get on these lists. We'll really make things right. We'll understand it ain't a real loss. It's a lesson. It ain't a real failure. It's a recalibration. And we'll just do better. I speak that to existence, that we all get back on track, that we all live and do everything that we love. Really, today, man, as simple it is as a costume or something, I speak that into existence. Really start doing everything you always wanted to do. Really start doing it. No matter how small, no matter how big, really start doing it. I thank you for listening, and this is recorded.